Hey everybody, this is Dicel with Dicel's Garage. Hope you guys are doing well today. We're going to talk about a concept Corvette today called the Mako Shark II. Now, why should I care? Why do I care about this Corvette? Well, I had the opportunity to buy a replica of the Mako Shark II a while back, and I kind of have buyer's remorse, a negative buyer's remorse, because I wish I would have bought it. Now, the guy wanted like $25,000 for it, and I just didn't have the money at the time, but he ended up selling it between $10,000 and $12,000, which is probably a fair price. Furthermore, Thomas Weeks with Misfits Garage ended up coming over to Columbus, Georgia, where the car was, and actually looked to buy it, but couldn't buy it because it didn't have a VIN number on it. I just want to talk about the car a little bit and basically where it came from and who finished the car. So apparently this car sat without an engine or a transmission at the Cooperstown, New York Car Museum prior to 2002. And in 2002, a gentleman by the name of Wayne Fields actually purchased the car, had it shipped to his house, which was also a shop at the time, and finished the car. He ended up putting a 396 big block in it, made it to, I think it was a it was a 396 engine with 400 horsepower. It had a 427 tri-power intake and carburetors and an M21 4-speed. And I had the opportunity to drive this car, and it was absolutely awesome. You know, when they say there's no replacement for displacement, that's absolutely true. So anyway, I missed out on this car. However, I did get some other vehicles that were at the estate that went for sale. Unfortunately, Mr. Fields passed away a few years ago, and I ended up purchasing some of the vehicles from the family. So I actually was able to get two Corvettes that were kind of unfinished. One of them specifically, he was considering a convertible Mako Shark, and it was, I don't know, 75% complete. Did not have an interior, no paint, did have the big block in it, so it had the 396, didn't have the tri-power on it, no carburetor. That was all taped off. I was able to open I took a valve cover off and looked, and it was just so clean. So I actually took the engine out of that car, and it's inside covered for use for either to go back in or to use on another project. Now, a couple of the other things that I got were actually years ago. I ended up buying a 1999 Ford F350 diesel. It's a 7.3 extended cab, and actually Mr. Fields used that to go and buy his cars and haul them back to his house. He went all over the U.S. buying and selling cars, and actually his expertise was in fiberglass, and specifically Corvette fiberglass. He also had a 67 Corvette convertible, which was absolutely stunning. Family sold that. And I also got a kind of a strange car from him out of the estate. It was a 65 Chevelle, Malibu Chevelle. Was not an SS. It has the 350 in it, and I actually still have that car, and we're going to look at it in some future videos. But what we want to talk about today are the Mako Sharks. Now, the Mako Sharks that I have, and I call them Mako Sharks, they're, pretty much tribute cars. The real Mako Sharks are very expensive. I'm sorry, the Sharks and the Shark IIs, because there was a Generation 1 and a Generation 2. So the Generation 2 cars are still out there, but they have some functionality that the car that I was not able to buy, but the tribute car didn't have. And then neither of my cars don't have that either. So a few weeks ago, I was out on the land and where the cars are, and I took some footage, and I'm going to show that video here in a minute. But what I really wanted to show you was the Mako Shark that I didn't buy, did get the opportunity to drive, and how good looking of a car it really was, and the amazing job Wayne Fields did in getting it in running order and showing it at car shows and things of that nature. So let's talk about the actual history of the Mako Shark II and actually where it came from. So in April of 1965, a Bill Mitchell designed concept hit the stage at the New York Auto Show. Although no one in attendance could know it at the time, this car dubbed the Mako Shark II, would go on to predict not just the shape of the third generation Corvette, but also had an astonishing number of features that would eventually appear on other cars. Now, like the original Mako Shark, which foretold the styling for the second generation Corvette or the C2, the Mako Shark II featured lines that were said to be influenced by the creatures of the deep. In recognition of this, the concept bore the same blue fading to gray paint seen on the original Mako Shark concept, but that's really where the external similarities ended. The Mako Shark II's nose was lowered and pointed to a sharper angle, while the muscular front fenders were taller and perhaps more exaggerated. And let me tell you, when you drove this thing down the road, you could not see over those front fenders. Now, the original Mako Shark apparently had a twin bubble roof. However, the Mako Shark's 2 roof was nearly flat, but flowed rearward to form a boat tail shape on the high-end deck lid. Louvers reminiscent of gills shaded the rear window. You could not see out of the back window because of those. And this theme was further explored on the front fender vents and cornering lamp covers. Now, behind the scenes, when this was first made, there was some sleight of hand going on. I think they rushed it to get it to the car show because the Mako Shark II was built on a chassis that was liberated from a Mako Shark I show car. Now, 2 Mako Shark II cars were ultimately constructed, and the concept that made its appearance in New York was nothing more than a rolling, non-functional car show. Its square tube oval exit side exhaust was little more than window dressing, and its airplane-style square corner steering wheel would have been less than ideal for road use. While both design elements were bold and futuristic, neither made it into the second Mako Shark II concept, which was a fully functional automobile that was completed in time for the 1965 Paris Auto Show. Under the flip-forward front clip, a design that would appear on the 4th generation Corvette launched in 1984, the Mako Shark II played host to Chevrolet's new 427 cubic inch Mark IV V8 engine, mated to a 3-speed turbo hydromatic transmission. The big block V8 would debut in the 1966 Corvette, as well as other products in the Chevrolet model line like the Biscayne, Caprice, and Impala. But the soon-to-be legendary engine made its first non-race appearance between the fenders of the Mako Shark II. Now, to allow easier access to the futuristic cockpit, the car's rear-hinged roof tilted upwards at the press of a button. Once inside, the driver sat in the seat that was in a fixed position. Instead of the seat moving forward to accommodate drivers of different dimensions, the steering wheel tilted down and telescoped rearward. Gas and brake pedals, along with the high beam dimmer switch, were mounted on a movable platform that adjusted to fit those of various inseams. While no automaker currently uses a fixed seat design, several companies, including GM, offer electrically adjustable pedals to optimize fit for drivers' sizes. Okay, so now that you guys have your history lessons on the Mako Shark and the Mako Shark II, let's see what it is I'm working with. Now, when we picked up the Corvettes on the land that I was telling you about, we actually brought them over here, and so this here on the right is one of the Corvettes we got. It's in really rough shape, as you can see. No hood, no engine. It's cut off from the back. And then this one, I believe this is a 78 anniversary edition Corvette. The interior is intact on this one. The frame is intact. So there's some good pieces and parts on this car. And as we come around, you'll see it poking out right there. That's one of the unfinished Mako Shark IIs. As you can see, it has the pointy nose. It has the heat deflectors on top. And, it's the making. It's a good flip hood. And with, as you can see right there on the right, the spinner wheels and the shark there. And as you can see, it's a convertible. And this is the car that actually had the big block 396 in it that we pulled out. And also we had a friend living in there at one time. It was a possum that was in there. But as you can see, again, those wheels, the turbine wheels with the knockoffs. You can see he had it in primer. He's got that low windshield post there. There's another shark there. The hood, the interior. And look at these weird back fenders and this the way this pops up there above the rear seat, and the spinners right there. This is really a neat car, and as you can see, the interior is toast. Needs pretty much everything, but it's all there for the most part. As you can see, as we'll get to the back here, you'll notice that there is the gas cap, where the gas cap goes right there. And then if you look down, there's a square opening for the lights. So I very much prefer the triple circular lights, the 6 total. But for some reason, he was going to make this with square lights on this car. Here's a side shot of the other car, and then the little one. Now here's another car we picked up that is very interesting. As you can see, it has a custom hood, custom lights, but it looks more like a normal C3 Corvette, but it's like a wide body. So what we did is we put these racing wheels on them to show you how wide that front end is. This is actually a good looking car. Again, it's in primer, and there's not much of an interior there. It's more than the other one. And actually that top on it is a 67 Corvette convertible hardtop. And again, as we get closer here, you can see there's some more. Actually, this one's farther along as far as the interior goes. It was an automatic in there, but yeah, there you go. There's the steering wheel, and all the indicators are in there. It's just a standard C3 Corvette inside. And then you can see the, sorry about my finger there, you can see the convertible top there, and then the normal Corvette rear end with the extra wide rear end on it. So this is something that I hope we get to work on pretty soon. And this car actually came with a small block Chevy 350 in it as well. So just an interesting car, and like I said, I'm not sure what we're going to do with it. If you have any suggestions, write it down in the comments what you think we should do with it. Is it worth anything? Should we throw it in the trash can? What is it we should do with these things? I just really don't know. And it's going to be a lot of work, but at the end of the day, it's going to be one of the most interesting cars around that I have ever seen or I've ever worked with. So I'm super excited about it. So that's pretty much it. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this Daisel's Garage. As you can see, we've got a lot of potential with these Corvettes, and surely we can do something with one or more of them. But thank you so much for watching. Please be sure and subscribe to my channel so I can bring you more great content, and click that notification bell so that you get notified when I make new videos. Again, thanks so much to you guys, and I look forward to doing another video real soon. Thanks.